Welcome back to the Boss Cup. This week we're treated to yet another short event, but once again we're seeing some insane times that I have no idea how people manage to pull off. And I guess if this cup has taught me anything, it's not the size of the level that matters, it's what you do with it. This wacky looking level was made by umiz, if you couldn't already tell. And if I recall back when I started playing Elastomania, players like Insane Guy and others were making these types of levels with crazy looking visuals that still were playable. But since then that style has kind of died down until umiz now has kind of resurrected it in the last couple of years. And I will say that making a level with visuals like this that is still playable is really hard. I mean, just look at this guy chilling here with his heart shoelaces. Or this poor dude here whose neck is all mangled up, I guess from people driving over it all day. And then you have this kind of mountain range here in the middle of nowhere, and this tree outside the level, and then just a beautiful flower tree to end the level. Now scaling back on the visuals a bit, I will just highlight the main idea of the level, but there's not that many different styles to discuss, I guess, but just so you get an overall idea. Now you start at this apple, and this is a gravity up apple, and that means that your wheels are gonna be below this guy's legs here, so you're gonna start driving on the underside of his legs basically. And then immediately you're gonna take this gravity down apple, and from then on the level plays completely normally. After this, I can only assume that this apple here is gonna be your next one, because after this hang around here, you're gonna have speed towards the left, and then this last cluster is just 2 apples and the flower over here. So there's no reason to really skip this apple. But then once you take this apple, the idea is to either come up here and maybe do some pushes over this mountain range here, grab this apple, and either come down here, get some speed, go take this apple and come back. Or perhaps you can take this apple, drop down and use this. I know it's really thin now, but there's basically a hang here that you can use to swing down, take this apple and come straight back. Or another style would be to, after taking this apple, you come down here instead. Maybe you can push a little bit from these polygons here. So you get a lot of speed towards the left. You grab this apple, come around the whole loop, somehow get this apple and drop straight onto the flower. But as far as styles go, this is basically what I can imagine. Now I know which style me and Elrond chose, but it's going to be really fun to see how people solve this level, because those times that you can see in like the top 3, top 5, I have no idea how they pulled those off. Now, I never know where to start looking at replays in events like this, because again, I have no idea how people drove this level. The only people I do know is me and Elrond, because we're in the same team and we share styles. So that's why I will usually start with either mine or his replays, because then at least I know that we will show that style in case nobody else did that style. So we were both playing this level quite a bit, and I felt that we had a really good style and got really good times. And that playing gave us a 14th and 15th place. Now, I thought we would get a better placement than that, but I guess that's Elastomania. You have no idea what other people are doing. And it's a little bit unfair to Elrond, because he's usually the one playing in the beginning of a cup and finding all the styles, and then I just come on the weekend, use all his styles, and maybe find a few tricks here and there and get an even better time. So that's why you usually see me in front of him, but I promise Elrond I will try to play a bit more in the early days of the cup from now on. Not that there's that many events left anyway, but I guess it's something. But so we'll start looking at my rec, and then from there on, we'll see what other people did, and the times will get completely nuts, and I'm ready to have my mind blown. Now, again, you start up here with the gravity up, and then you take the gravity down apple. Coming down here, grabbing this apple by the dude, and then we chose to do the bottom style here. Coming around, taking the bottom apple, getting a good amount of speed, coming here and trying here to get a push from the roof, getting that last apple and flower. That's how quick this level is. Let's see how other people did it. Now in 13th place, we have TM. Now we saw TM doing really well in those short levels before, so him getting a 13th place might mean that he also didn't find the style that those top players used, or it might just mean that he didn't play the level a lot. Let's find out. TM's replay. Grabbing this gravity down apple. Let's see, goes for this apple, no strange funny business yet. And let's see, goes for the bottom route as well. Gets a good amount of speed here. Grabs the bottom apple. Let's see how he handles this top apple. Looks pretty similar. Gets a push from the ceiling here and grabs the apple. Now, maybe unsurprising, we did basically the same style, just a little bit different vaulting. And TM managed to beat me by 0.01 seconds. In 12th place. Sandro. Now, I haven't seen Sandro up here in this cup really, so I don't know if he just didn't play the other events or maybe he just did particularly well here. But this Georgian Kusky managed to pull off a pretty big gap from TM's 1959 to 1927. Let's see how he did it. Sandro starting right as well, no choice really. Good vault there, getting good grip early. That's actually different from our styles. Oh, and he chooses to go the top route. Let's see here, gets the push, gets the apple, does he drop straight down? Oh, beautiful. Can even push down to get this apple and breaking just barely far enough. Beautiful run. Really interesting to see. Now, I could already stay and analyze that replay, the different kind of vaulting he did, especially in the start and the top route overall. But I have a feeling we're gonna see similar improvements in the replays to come. So let's keep looking. And then at the end, we'll analyze what actually made the perfect run. In 11th place, Ramon. Now, sometimes when we see a Ramon replay, it can give us an idea of what Zero is going to play because they're on the same team, but other times Zero just does some insane style that only he can pull off. So let's check out Ramon's replay and see if that can give us a clue as to how the top players play this level. Ramon, starting here, let's see. Does a similar start to us, not the Sandro start that looked faster actually. And let's see, he goes for the top route as well. Gets the vaults in here. And let's see, grabs the apple. Will he jump straight down? He will. He gets the stick here, comes down. Nice break grip there and getting the flower. So really good run. We can already see a lot of potential for the top route. But again, we're going to cut seconds off of this time. So stay tuned. In 10th place, Kopaka. With, I believe, his first top 10 finish of this cup. Really fun to see him up here. And also a great improvement on Ramon's time. More than 1/10 of a second. Let's see his replay. Kopaka starting here as well. Let's see, same start as most other people have done, not the Sandro start. Grabs this apple, let's see, it is the top route again. Will he drop straight down as well? Catching the wall here, getting the good grip here, getting a push, very nice. Good break, good turn, and gets the flower. 1908. Are we now gonna see our first sub 19 finish? Let's find out. In 9th place, Alvin. At 19 sharp. I don't know if he stopped on purpose or if he was trying his damnedest to beat that time, but regardless, it's a really beautiful time, so congratulations, Alvin. Let's see his replay. Alvin starting right here as well. Grabs the apple. So far, pretty similar vaulting here in the start. Let's see, is it the top route? It is. And let's see how he does it. Gets the push here. Catches the wall. Ooh, very nice. Can even gas a little bit, it looks like. Gets down here. Ooh, grabs with the head as well, turning immediately. Gets a flower at 19 sharp. Let's see, is the top route meta gonna win? Or will there be some completely different style? Because again, the top times are way different from what you're seeing right now. In 8th place, Pocho. Pocho comes in at the first sub 19 run at 1875. Still a pretty good improvement. It's a quarter of a second on Alvin's time. Let's see his replay. Pocho here starting. Will it be different starting vaults? Not really, just the Olo and push as we've seen everybody else do. Let's see, goes for the top route as well. Maybe it is the winning route. And gets the stick here. Oh, and can get this kind of push style here as well. Not just the stick and drop, but even pushing down. Getting the flower, 1875. I'm starting to see a pattern here, but let's see. In 7th place, Klaskerlol. Or Klasker, I don't really know if you say the lol in his name, but Klaskerlol, the Danish Kuski, at 1848, cutting yet another quarter of a second. Really impressive stuff. Let's see his replay. Let's see, Klaskerlol here, starting towards the right. Ooh, gets that kind of Sandro push that we saw. That looks really fast, actually. Goes for the top route as well. And let's see, comes here. Ooh, gets a really nice, like, easy pushing on those spikes. Gets the push down here as well, braking, turning, and grabbing with the back wheel. Very nice run, 1848. Let's see the next replay. In 6th place, now we're getting closer. 8-Ball. I don't think I've seen 8-Ball playing this cup before, maybe in the early events, but really fun seeing him up here and really good showing with an 1834. Starting here, let's see. Still the normal Olo and push start here. I believe the other way is faster, but let's see. Goes for the top route as well. Gets a nice push here. And let's see, goes for a normal stick here, not the kind of push style we've seen so far. But good grab there, manages to stretch out and grab it with the front wheel. Interesting, we see some different styles, even though it's a top route. People do a different kind of grab of the second last apple and also a different style towards the last apple. Either you just fall down and get a stick with the back wheel, or you kind of stop and get a push with the front wheel to get faster speed downwards. Let's see what people do in the replays to come. So top 5. In 5th place we have Barry P at an 1801. Almost breaking that 18-second barrier, but improving 0.33 on 8-Ball's time. Let's see this replay. Barry P, let's see the start. Same kind of Olo and normal push that we've seen everybody doing. Let's see, coming here, going for the top route as well. Gets this apple, gets this kind of push style here as well. Good break, good turn. Just a very clean execution. 1801. I'm starting to feel a little bit stupid for going the bottom route, but we never know what's going to happen. Let's see. In fourth place, Slaw. Slaw is really showing up in this cup right now. He didn't play for the first several events, but now he's getting some really good placements. And he also comes in with the first sub 18 run. Let's see his 1791. Let's see the start. Is it gonna be the same Alo? No, it's not. It's the fast start. At least I believe it's faster. Let's see, coming around here, getting a good push, using those spikes, and goes for the stick here. And probably gonna grab with the back. Yeah, exactly. Good turn, grabs with the front wheel, stretches out that bike just to reach the apple. Beautiful replay by Slaw. Let's get into the top three. In third place, we have Zero. Interesting. Zero comes in at a 1764, improving 0.3 on Slaw's time. Let's see his run. Zero. Let's see the start. Actually, the Alo and normal push. Maybe they're equally fast, or maybe one is faster. Let's find out. Going for the top route as well. Let's see, grabs this apple. Ooh, beautiful drop there. Gets a good push down, barely grabs the apple, comes in for the flower at 1764. Really good run by Zero. Now there's probably 3 players that I can imagine are in this top 2 that is left. 2 of them is the power couple, JT and Miels, who are consistently performing really well in this cup. And the third one is Blastic, who we've seen in these top 3 positions before, but so far we haven't seen him in this event. In second place, JT at a 1747, improving 0.2 on Zero's run. Let's see the replay. JT, is he gonna do a different start? He does. Not the Zero start. Maybe this is where he saves his time. Comes around here, goes for the top route. Good pushes here, low pushes. Comes down, does the push down here as well. Nice. Grabs the apple. Really nice replay. As far as I can tell, the only major difference was the start, but I guess we're gonna have to merge those recs to see. But before that, we still have our final player. Can you guess who it is? In first place, Miels. Now this doesn't really come as a surprise. If we see JT in the top and we know that these 2 players are sharing styles, they're probably both gonna be in the top. And the time that Miels got, 1734, improving more than 0.1 on JT's run. Let's see his replay. Starting here, does the same kind of start that JT did, a good early push, getting a lot of grip. Comes around here, nice push, a lot of speed. Comes in low, just gets down here, gets the push from this hang, grabs the apple, comes down, grabs with the back wheel. Beautiful run. Miels takes the win and Zero gets another third place, meaning that the top 3 is getting even closer again. Now I guess we have an idea what style was actually faster, but I want to start by just doing a merge between Zero's and Slaw style, because Slaw did a different kind of ending, but he did a fast start. So maybe that's why their times cancelled out a bit. And then we'll take a look at Zero's replay compared to Miels's and see if the start was everything or if there was something else that managed to save those 0.3 seconds that Miels won by. Now a merge between Zero and Slaw. And we'll be following Slaw as he's probably gonna take an early lead. Watching Slaw here in the Argentinian shirt. Yeah, it looks like he's pulling out ahead a little bit so far. And let's see, coming around here, will Zero gain that time on the spikes or will it be by the drop? Looks like Slaw is still a little bit in the lead here, but yeah, Zero pushing down there, getting a little bit more speed downwards and catching up and passing Slaw in the last few moments of the level. As we can see here, Slaw is already ahead by maybe half a bike length, a little bit less. And then by the hang here, they do a little bit different style, so it's not completely equal. But we can see Slaw still pulling ahead a little bit. Zero has to stop because he has to do this push. But by doing the push, that allows him to get his wheel around here, getting a good push down here, and you can see already accelerating past Slaw. Whereas Slaw, since he was just doing a stick, he's actually braking and just slowing down in his drop. And Zero just about getting the apple here. You can see the turn, barely touching the apple before already starting to move rightwards. Whereas Slaw here is using that stretch to just grab the apple. You can't see it anymore, but stretching out that front wheel and turning, and then both going back towards the flower. So I guess we can tell that the winning style was by combining Slaw's start with Zero's end. But let's just merge Zero and Miels as well to find out for sure. Let's see, Mielz will do the little bit different start, and yeah, already pulling out ahead a little bit. Let's see if he can save this lead all the way throughout to the end. And they do a little bit different spike part as well, actually. But let's see, Mielz ahead. Zero gets a little bit better push, I believe, so he manages to catch up a little bit, but it's already too late. Let's see. Mielz does this kind of push here, and that allows him to start gassing already here. And then you can see Zero's back wheel still hasn't touched the bottom here. Now it touches, so now he can start gassing. And that allows Mielz here to already get a lead from the start. Now let's see, I didn't see the spikes changing that much, but they did do a little bit different spike part here. Mielz opts to just push with the back wheel here, whereas Zero catches the whole spike, as you can see behind here. So he pushes with the front wheel. Mielz goes a little bit lower, it looks like. But let's see, Mielz pushes here with the front wheel. Zero does the same kind of thing. Just a little bit different, but looks to be pretty much equally fast maybe. I believe that the lead that Mielz has is from the start, not from the spike part. And then let's see, Mielz gets the push. Looks like Zero gets an even harder push here actually. You can kind of see that, I don't know, Mielz gets a little bit of downwards momentum from that, but if you look at Zero, he gets a lot of push down here. Comes down for the apple. Both of them doing this very, very beautiful break, barely grabbing the apple, because you don't need to go more left than just touching the apple a little bit. But since Mielz landed sooner, manages to turn sooner, he's also in the lead, and will keep that lead all the way to the flower. And whether you grab front wheel or back wheel just depends on your rotation a little bit. Doesn't change that much actually. I feel like an idiot now for going the bottom route, but you never know. And just because you choose a technically faster route doesn't mean that it has to be faster, because it also comes down to your execution of that route. Again, going back to what we said in the beginning about short levels, it's not the route that matters, it's what you do with it. Well, actually the route matters a little bit. Even if you're pro and you choose a bad route, you're probably not going to win. And now that I've seen all the runs, I can finally read Discord again. And it seems like Mielz has uploaded 2 replays, one of which is SL 17.4 and one 1763. He mentions both styles, so I guess this is going to be 2 different styles. Maybe the SL replay of their normal style and another style that could be equally fast. I haven't seen this replays. Let's see what it's about. We'll start by watching the slower replay, 1763. I don't believe this is SL, at least it's not in the name. Mielz starting here. Does the fast start at least. I guess you have to get those kind of times. And let's see, comes around, it's the top style as well. And the same kind of push they were using before. Oh, but with the stick instead of the push down. That's beautiful, and that fast with that style. Very impressive. I didn't think you could do the stick that fast. I think you needed that push at the end. Let's see his 17.4 save loaded replay. Let's see, probably gonna be the fast start as well. Coming around here. Let's see, grabs the apple. I think this is a low FPS run, so gonna have some wheel pops maybe. Good push here. Coming down, gets the stick as well. Oh, that's a crazy end actually. I was expecting maybe some wheel pops, especially in the start, but coming around here, just all around good. It's the same kind of spikes they've been doing. Very nice getting this stick here without losing too much speed. Coming around and then just grabbing the apple barely and pushing but not hitting the head, so you can just go straight down. I mean, you're not gassing, but you're just using that vaulting momentum to get towards the flower anyway, and then you don't have to wait for your front wheel to come back and become your back wheel to gas. Really nice replays. I was actually maybe expecting to see some wheel pops, especially in the start here, because I would assume that right here you have these like beautiful places for wheel pops because your wheel is just barely above the ground and you can play at low FPS because it's a short level. But we didn't see that much of it. Maybe it's just I'm not that good at wheel pops and those kind of styles, so maybe it just doesn't suit the level. Look, by the way, how close his chin is here doing this kind of start. So you can imagine that this start was really hard to pull off as well, because it all comes down to those pixel perfect moves, right? Really beautiful replay and really fun level to play, even though I played the wrong style, or maybe because I played the wrong style. Because sometimes we have to remember, it's not always about getting the best time, sometimes it's also about having fun when you play. Not always, but sometimes. So let's take a final look then at the overall standings. We see Zero in the lead still at 995 points, just not breaking that 1000 barrier yet, but he will next event, most likely. Miels is right on his heels at 1970. It's a 25 point difference between these two players. JT is very close still, also within the 900s. But then we see a pretty significant gap down to the top 4, 5, 6 and onwards. And one of the reasons we're doing that is because Blastic used to be here in the 4th position, very close to JT, but Blastic chose to resign from the cup. Now, it's a huge blow to the cup because his runs were really interesting. He was doing really well and he was contending for this 3rd place finish. But as I get, he's traveling abroad, and as I understood it, he's not going to be playing any future events. So we're unfortunately slowly going to see him fall down the list. But I want to give a huge shout out to Blasek for some amazing runs and some impressive playing. And I hope to see him again in the next cups to come. But what does that mean in the long run? Well, it means that the top 5 is completely open for contention now. We see Barry P with some good finishes, getting a really good 4th place here. I guess if Blasek stops playing, I'm the closest one, 70 points behind, but that can change quickly in a few events. We also see Pocho, Elron, Ramon all at 500 points, so they are also really close. You never know what can happen. So it's gonna be really interesting to see who will actually win this cup. We don't know. If Miels and JT do some really good finishes together, probably Miels, but maybe even JT can pull ahead in front of Zero. And will anyone actually break into this top 3, or will there just be a huge battle for, top 4 up until top 10? Because this cup is total chaos and anything can happen. So stay tuned to find out.